A lot of e-commerce brands will typically use ROAS targets or ROAS constraints in order to understand efficiency. But this does not tell you the whole picture. If you want to truly understand the level of growth or the potential for growth that still remains, you have to look at some sort of share of model, like share of search or impression share. Google Ads practitioners typically use impression share all the time. But what if I told you that there's actually a metric that you can construct a metric which will tell you a combination of both of these things? Both impression share, which means that what percentage of the market and what share of the total competitive space that is still there to grow, so basically the growth potential, as well as the efficiency of your current spend, which is given by ROAS. This combined metric is RPI effective, as I will call it. So RPI is basically revenue per impression. Now let's take a couple of steps back in order to arrive at this formula. So what is ROAS really? ROAS is really nothing but conversion rate into average order value divided by CPC, as given in this equation here. So from this we can derive through some algebraic steps. I'm not going to show that in this video, it's too basic. So RPI effective then can be constructed from the definition of ROAS as impression share multiplied by CTR multiplied by conversion rate multiplied by AOV, as given here. Now RPI effective should be split up into two, non-branded and the branded case. And why am I doing this? That's because when we are talking about the non-branded case, we can largely expect that it is incremental. Of course, we have to understand still the potential of incrementality there, but the immediate concern of incrementality does not arise as much it arises for the branded search. So branded search, if at all it is incremental, like even without doing any regular incrementality test, that question should naturally arise because a lot of people would have probably converted anyway, right? That's the whole point of branded search, people who are already aware of the brand and they're searching for it. So that's where RPI effective now takes the form of the same thing, but just another additional factor. The incrementality factor now starts appearing in that formula. So it's impression share multiplied by CTR multiplied by an incrementality factor and then multiplied by CBR and AOV. This basically gives us the concept of revenue per impression. And this is a combined metric. As you can see, it gives you the concept of conversion rate, which is a post-click thing. It gives you the concept of pricing, which is given by AOV. And it also gives you the context of how well the ad is performing, like its capability to pull people, which is given by CTR. And it's also taken into account the growth potential, which is given by impression share. In case of branded, this just becomes an additional step by including the incrementality factor. Let's actually take this example. So what is really the range for alpha? It varies from 0 to 1, as you would have expected. So if it's very low, for instance, means the incremental factor is very low, it means that it would have converted anyway. Like the organic searches are appearing through the branded search terms, right? Your website is obviously ranking organically. It should be ranking right at the top, hopefully, for your branded searches. And people would have converted from that anyway. So if alpha is very low, it would mean that A, it would have converted through the organic anyway, and B, there aren't too many competitive players who can eat into your own share, which is given by your branded searches. So that's the first possibility, like alpha being very low. On the other hand, if alpha tends towards 1, if it's on the higher side, this means that the incrementality factor is really high, and therefore you would really need to take into account the branded paid search as well, because then it would not have been converting either via organic or just through other means. Really, those people would not have converted without the paid search being there. And this is typically the case when there's a lot of competitive pressure as well, who are already bidding on your branded terms as well. Like your brand's terms, the competitors are bidding on that. Very common phenomena. So a combination of these two things, whether the people can convert through organic searches or there's cannibalization by competitors, this is basically being captured by this incremental factor. And this is where the differentiation between branded and non-branded should be made in accordance with the incrementality situation. But the core point is not the incrementality. That of course comes up because of the way we calculate it. But RPI effective or RPI, the basic concept, this is what I really wanted to touch upon, that when you're optimizing, when people optimize and when they're setting targets like KPIs, ROAS is usually not a great number, because first of all, like it has to be incremental. Like you have to understand if there is an incrementality to it as well, because if you're using just the MTA number, or if it's just the ad platform reported number, that dashboard number is probably not a great idea to go by anyway. But apart from that as well, just even if it's ROAS, you also need a growth potential element at a minimum, and that is given by one of these share of models. You can obviously look at multiple metrics in tandem, which a lot of people of course do. But what if there were such a metric, and there you are, there is already one, which is revenue per impression, which tells you even before a click occurs, right? Because it's per impression, it tells you that if there's just more people that could have been captured and more revenue that could have been generated from that additional reach. So that's where the concept of market penetration, that's where the concept of RPI really comes from, that it's basically telling you what you are really missing out on whenever you're missing an impression. That was there to be had. What do you think of this metric? Do let me know if you have already been using it, or if you think of any other way of incorporating both the growth potential given by either share of factors or metrics and an efficiency metric. And let me know in the comments. I'm always happy to have meaningful conversations. So till next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.